Lebanese Druze. And what happened was the mountains, it's a very complicated story, but briefly as I can, I'll tell you that the Israelis, when they controlled the area in 82 and 83, armed and supplied both sides. And so when they left in 83, you could sort of almost see the match being lit, and a few hours later the war starts between the Druze and the Christians. And this went on for a couple months, and then it ended. Peace broke out, as they say, in the mountains. And these pictures all document that period in Lebanon when these guys are fighting. This is Christian militias fighting mortars. These are kids in a village of LA, in Sukkot garb, and this is, I'm in the APC with the army, and the army's taking fire from the Druze. So we're getting, ting, ting, ting on the side of the carrier. This is a woman just carrying her groceries home, and you see all these shells. These are all 155 millimeter artillery shells that have been left in the road. And the kids playing with their toys. This picture of the kids looking at these windows, this is in a church in a village called Darel Kamar, and these kids are looking at the Red Cross coming in with supplies. The Druze militia has controlled this town, which is a Christian village, and allowed the Red Cross to come in with supplies. So these kids are watching supplies coming in for the first time in 3 weeks. And then this is a Lebanese soldier sitting in a deserted house watching what's going to happen next, holding his European magazine and smoking a cigarette. You can't make this stuff up. There's nothing funnier than real life. If you look for it, if you look for what you're looking for, you can find unbelievable places. But you got to really pay attention to it. So.
If I could say something as it relates to that. Catherine mentioned earlier that we met with Bill in his studio. We looked through literally thousands of images, slides, actual photographs. In the next section over here around the corner, you'll see samples of the contact sheets. And Bill, literally has thousands of images that he took over all those years in the Middle East. And we didn't want this show just to be death and destruction. And even though a lot of the story behind it is, depressing and it's an unfortunate situation on many fronts, we also wanted to show that people were living, and surviving. And Bill pointed out, this section right here, where you do have this war raging, in some cases block to block. But you still also have people coming home from the grocery store. And, can you imagine us walking home and walking past artillery shells where it's just become part of life? Or this one where the kids are surrounded by all this destruction right here, but they fashioned this pull toy out of probably leftover military garb. And then the kids looking through the church window here. So we wanted to, show the humanity of the situation. We wanted to show certainly the tragedy of the situation, but we felt it was important to have a balance between images that describe what people were going through on a daily basis and then highlighting the images of war or Sadat being assassinated or whatnot. So hopefully we've struck that right balance and that we've been able to tell an effective story with the images we've chosen.
Well, when you're living in a place like Beirut during the war in 82 and 83 and 84 and 85, how can you live in Beirut? Well, you'd be surprised that there were restaurants that worked, there were grocery stores that worked. We had some really nice meals in Beirut. I had a really nice apartment on the Corniche. I looked at the balcony on the Mediterranean Sea. I could watch the USS New Jersey shelling the mountain from my balcony. So yeah, it's not all gloom and doom. We find moments of happiness and moments of where life is good.
I think the next series of